What's up, everybody? It's AaroniMoses, and I was looking at some fucking, I don't even remember what the fuck it was. I forgot what I was looking up, but I was reading a fucking article about a fucking inmate in California was suing the state of California because this nigga killed somebody, was in prison for life without parole, and was demanding that the state of California give this nigga a gender reassignment procedure with taxpayers' dollars, bro. Um, it really fucked me up because the whole what's up, bro? The whole level of entitlement of this new generation and how they say our generation, my generation, before the millennials, what is my generation? Generation Y or some shit from like the mid 80s to 96. How entitled we are. But this person demanded that the state of California give him or her a fucking gender reassignment surgery with taxpayers' dollars. And people are actually supporting this person. When they fucking get mad at black people, they call us niggers because we have food stamps to feed our children, and they get mad at people. They get mad at illegal immigrants for coming over here and going to fucking school free and going to the dentist and getting food stamps and getting public assistance, and they're not made to go back to their country as long as they stay in college. And you support this killer. This nigga killed somebody. This person got their freedom stripped from them for the rest of their life. And no disrespect to the transgender community. I'm calling this person a nigga because that's some nigga shit. That's some nigga shit. And I respect everybody and their sexual preferences. I don't really want to go into my personal beliefs on the reassignment fucking procedure, but this person is a horrible representation of the transgender community. You sue the state of California so they can pay to get your dick chopped off after you killed somebody. After you killed a fucking person from California. Now this person's family, all this person's friends have to pay for you to have a pussy that you don't even deserve. You don't deserve that pussy. You didn't go to college. You don't have the freedom to go to college. So you can do whatever the fuck you want. You don't get to do whatever the fuck you want. You're in jail. You saw the legal contract. You saw in our society it is illegal to kill motherfuckers. But you did that shit anyway, and now you're in fucking jail. Now you're in prison. You don't get the same rights as us. You don't get to sue. I guess you do get to sue the state of California so they can chop your dick off, but whatever. I just saw that. That's old ass news. That happened in January, but I just found out about it. It was the first state government paid fucking gender reassignment surgery. As a man, this person killed somebody in 1980 and has been in prison for 30 something years. 30 something years. This motherfucker's 60. 30 something years older than me and my sister put together. But that's not true. But another thing that kind of fucked me up, I was watching this reaction video about some slave fucking movie. I don't even remember. It was real quick. And I was just looking into the woman's eyes, how she was crying about the what's up, how she was crying about the dance and how much it touched her. And you know what? I enjoy being black, like all the physical benefits and shit like that, all the one dimensional, whatever, 3-dimensional benefits of being black. But I never really felt a real attachment to being black. Like you could talk about slavery, you could talk about the civil rights movement, Is it because a lot of my family doesn't really? Well, when I was growing up, they didn't look like they were black to me. My family's all Spanish because they're Spanish, they're Irish, they're white Hispanics, they're white Hispanics. My great great grandma was from Spain. Her parents were from Spain. One of her parents was from China or some shit. They moved to Cuba to try to get to America. They couldn't get over here. They snuck over here. They moved to Georgia, Michigan. So my family is white Hispanics and white people. A lot of them. I'm like the first. I'm not even fucking full African American, but I'm the blackest of the males to stay in that house in the '90s. I'm like the fourth generation. So I didn't really. And then after that shit, I moved. I felt different because I went to school and I would see all these black kids, and then I come home. Then I go home and my family, a lot of them I didn't identify as black. I didn't even know my mom was black until I was like, I want to say like 8. I literally thought she was 8 because she asked me, was she black like, was she a little black girl like you? I was like, nah, mommy, she was white like you. And she was like, what the fuck? Nigga, I'm not white. And then I was like, oh, damn. But the whole thing is, I don't really, I don't want to say I don't feel an attachment to my race or to slavery or to the civil rights movement, but it's not something that I really, it's not, I don't want to, it's not something I identify with. Like when I see a picture of a slave, I just see that as a human being. I just see that as a slave. And of course, the whole black stereotype is that, I don't know, bro. I just told you that. I told you that the other day. I don't know. I didn't even ask my friend from Milwaukee what that means. But catch a pop. That's probably some fight. That's definitely some violent shit. But I never really identified with black people as a race. I see people of color in bad situations on posters and movies and TV. I just see them as people of color. Um, it could be a lot of things. It could be the diversity in my life. It could be the lack of diversity. I moved from being somewhere where there everybody 90% of people were black and the fucking hundreds in Chicago to fucking the where is 3 other black people in my school to where there's okay now there's fucking 5 other black people in my school. Then I moved to black ass Atlanta, and then I moved to black ass Atlanta, and there's still not that many black kids in my school, and it's they've been around white people so long that they split it up. There's 2 different types of black people at that school. You know, the rich black people, the normal black people, and the hood black people. But the whole thing is, I mean, I've been a friendly person as a child. I wouldn't say so much now. I really always, you know what I think? I think I'm like I'm trying to figure this out mentally. So I think it is. I just don't like when people remind me when I'm black. I just think that's what it is. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it 110. When I was little, I didn't want to be black because of where I lived. I didn't want to be black. I fucking hated my hair. I hated that. This what really fucked me up for a little while is when I was in fucking I was in school and they were these kids were playing this game, and if you got a point, you got a little stamp on your hand, and this fucking white chick had some these little like stamp markers. So when you they had the little like smiley faces and stars and shit like that, and when you press them on your skin, you got like a little smiley face. So I was playing and shit. I got my point, and I guess she was looking down and she didn't say. I don't even remember the fucking game. She was like, who gets the point? And everybody's like, Aaron. That was Aaron did that. And she looked at me and she was like, I can't give you a stamp. You're too dark. And I looked at my skin and I looked at everybody else's skin. I didn't even realize that skin color would matter in this game. So, I mean, of course, I stole one of her markers, probably the yellow one or the fucking green one, and stamped all over my hand. I didn't get in trouble. Whatever. But I just, I didn't like being. I don't like being reminded that I'm black because I don't. I mean, I don't sit around and think about black shit all day. I don't think. I think that's what black. I think that's what everybody who's not black thinks that black people do. They sit around and think about African American shit or nigga shit all day. I don't sit around and think about how good it feels or how bad it feels or how big my black dick is. We don't do that shit. People don't sit around and shop for fucking elephant statues all day. Black people don't do that. But it might be that small part of me who's just like, damn, if I was white, I wouldn't have any legal situations right now. I wouldn't be a felon if I was white. So I guess I just don't like people reminding me that I'm black all the time. It's like having, I don't want to say it's like having a disease, because it's not. It's not like having a disease. But if I was white, I probably wouldn't want white people to remind me that I was white all the time. If I was from the hood or from the suburbs, I probably wouldn't want people to remind me that I was from the hood or the suburbs all the time. But the whole thing is, like, when I go places, and black people, we need to stop doing this. When I go places, people automatically think that we should be friends. We have something in common because we're black. We don't have shit in common just because we're both black. That doesn't mean anything. I could be Dominican or some shit. I could be somebody who does not even speak English. And there's a lot of people from South America and Oklahoma, surprisingly. And these people look like me. And I walk up to them and I ask them something. They don't even fucking speak English. They've never even seen fucking lighters before, literally. I met one person who's never seen a lighter before. I met another person who's never seen a can of whipped cream before. But black people just don't walk up to people and try to be their friend automatically think you have something in common because you both look black. That annoys the shit out of me. Especially in Chicago. Am I racist? I'm not gonna start answering questions yet. But it just annoys me that people it's not because some of these places I'm just in my zone and I don't want to be talked to. I don't have that experience now as much because I don't live in a real city. But when people try to make those connections with you, and that's just because I feel like I hear that inner dialogue they have. Like, hey, he's black. I could be friends with him. Let me talk to him. He's one of the only black people. He's one of the only black people here, and he's sitting close to the door. Let me be friends with him. We have something in common automatically. I mean, yeah, that's it's human nature, and it's just sociology, and especially in Chicago's fucking segregated as fuck. Chicago's the most segregated city in America. They have Greek town. My son's not here. He's in Chicago for his birthday. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I fucking. What do I mean? What do they? I don't know what catch a pot means. That sounds like some Florida slang. But how much does a quarter pound cost in my area? Probably like, I probably like 1,200 or some shit. I don't know. If the eights are like 50, I don't know. I don't fuck around here. What's my opinion on religion? Religion is religion is good for a lot of people. Religion is bad for a lot of people. Religion, my whole thing about religion is it knocks people off of their purpose. Sometimes it keeps people in control, which I'm thankful for religion because of that. If it wasn't for religion, I'm pretty sure a lot more people would be killing people and raping people and doing all kind of shit. But religion, certain religions make people focus on the wrong things. Certain religions make people, I don't want to say worship, but they make people obsessed with dying and death, and they don't allow people to live in the present moment. They're always preparing to die. They're constantly thinking about fucking death when they think their religion is all about life and living when it's really not. Religion makes it okay for people to be dumb, certain religions, because certain things are pretty blatant in certain holy texts. And when you sit and you read this, and if you take anything literal, if you take anything literally, then it should make life a lot less complicated. But because they have so much emotional attachment to certain outcomes and to certain beings, they just ignore things and they apply those same principles to their lives when they shouldn't apply those same principles of looking at things to everything. Only to your religion, only to your practices, only to your rituals, only to your God. Don't apply ignoring one part and apply that to your life. And a lot of people do that. But yeah. Am I racist? Um Everybody's a little bit racist. It's natural. It's in my opinion that there's some shit that black people just do the best. It's in my opinion there's some shit that white people just do the best. It's some shit that Mexicans just do the best. So yeah, everybody's racist. Is healthy. Healthy racism is healthy. Um Opinion on white and black friends. You should be friends with everybody. Race. That's what I was talking about. Race shouldn't determine your friends. If you think about it, the only thing that you should be really concerned with is the fact that you only hang out with a certain type of people. Just like I made a video and a lot of people misunderstood what I was saying in that video. I forgot which one it was, but I was talking about how it's a lot of mixed females, black and white or black and whatever with black fathers specifically. They grow up and they brainwash themselves or their parents brainwash them to hate black men or to hate black people or to only see the negative side of black people, because if they are half black there's a 70% chance they don't have a fucking father in their lives. 70% of black people don't haven't grown up with fathers and don't have fathers in their lives. So when you are half black and half white and the only positive side of people you see are white people is your white mom, then yeah, it's gonna be hard to appreciate or to respect black people if that's all you see. So, I mean, but having a diverse circle is always good. Shit. I mean, I was talking about this with the homie. It's not that I don't date black women or that I look at a black woman and I'm like, just pussy, no relationship. It's just I can't really say I can't really say that it would be boring. He said it's boring for him because they grew up with the same lifestyle. know all the same shit, and why? Well, when you date somebody outside of your race, you learn all these new things, all this new fucking slang. You got all these different types of foods and all kind of shit, music. But nah, it's cool. How do I like the weed hustle? I don't sell weed. I don't sell weed. I don't sell weed. I haven't sold weed since I was fucking 20. It's lame. I sold no. I tried to sell weed when I was in Atlanta, like fucking 3 or 4 times. It's lame. It's lame because at the time I smoked weed. Everybody fucking sells weed, and it's getting too hard. It's too many states with fucking legalized weed and medical marijuana. It's lame. And when you think about it, weed. Well, one of the things they were talking about with the whole war on drugs and the war on marijuana is weed funds all these hard drugs getting transported to the country. So if crack devastates your area, if heroin devastates your area, if anything besides pills and meth devastates your area and you hate that shit, if your fucking mom got robbed by a crackhead and your brother got fucking stabbed by somebody that was coming down off heroin because they needed to get a fix, and you sell weed, you're funding that shit. You got your mom robbed and you got your brother stabbed. So if you sell weed and hard drugs outside of what the government makes and methamphetamine, which you can make in a fucking Coke bottle in your bathroom in a couple hours, you're funding that shit. So, I mean, weed feeds a lot of families, but it brings fucking hard drugs into our country. Well, I mean, the government helps too a lot, but the best way for somebody on the East Coast to have, what is the best way for someone on the East Coast to get their hands on high grade weed they have out on the West to smoke? New York niggas, get a fucking New York City dude, bro, because they literally, when you see, I'm not, well, shout out to New York, but all of my best, all the best plugs that I have been affiliated with New York somehow. This one dude, I don't want to say his name. When I was in high school, he was the plug. He was a fucking Puerto Rican New York dude. Everybody, I don't on the East Coast. How do you get high grade weed? Definitely somebody from one of the five boroughs. But that's true though. That's that's pretty much true. New York, or that's how you just networking, because yeah, literally everything illegal that I have done has involved somebody from New York. Basically, basically the homie D, that nigga's from Bed-Stuy, and that's how I found my plug. That nigga was from fucking like Harlem or some shit. The dude I used to get that shit from in high school. He was from Harlem. Fucking when I was in Georgia, this one dude, I don't want to say his name. It was another nigga. They were all from New York, Maryland, or just came from Florida, but were originally from New York. Um, and that's really that's it. Or you know what? I'm not even gonna go into that, but yeah, I wanted to fucking. Do you guys want me to do another live stream? Because I was up last night doing some weird AaroniMoses shit, and I didn't go to bed till like 2, and I woke up at 8, fell asleep. Do you want me to do another live stream today in like another hour? Because I gotta let my phone charge, and I want to go to the store and think about some shit to live stream for, because I really just wanted to get that little piece of information. What makes me think deep? I'm sorry, I skipped your question. What makes me think deep? This is the last question I'm gonna answer. I think it is a character trait that I've always had, even as a child. You know, they say curiosity is the best teacher. It's just being curious. It's it's having a childlike imagination. It's meditation. It's connecting the dots. It's not being afraid to be called dumb because I've said a lot of dumb shit. A lot of it. I've thought a lot of dumb people thoughts, but that's okay for me. It's okay. It's about having the confidence to be wrong. What makes me think deep? Um, just having the confidence to be wrong, being okay, being comfortable with being wrong. Being comfortable with being wrong makes gives you a certain amount of relaxation and your mind just drifts. And when I think deep, it's like if you ever freestyle rap, it's like what kind of mental vibration do you have to be on for your mind to even drift that way? It's not for me being deep is not about digging. It's about drifting. It's about letting your mind do its own thing. And thoughts don't come from you don't the human brain doesn't generate thoughts. The human brain attracts thoughts. Okay? So if you want to think deep, I mean it's not like I was sitting around listening to all these philosophers and poets and all these powerful thinkers. I've never maybe that was the reason that I became so quote unquote deep is because I didn't have that information intake. I usually had to find some shit out on my own. So I mean being in poverty, having to be creative all the time, being the only person in my age group, everybody was either 4 years older than me or 4 years younger than me and my family. So being independent physically and mentally, having to figure shit out. When I was young, I mean, I already told you guys, my grandma basically raised me till I moved out from her house, my great grandma. And she didn't let me play the video game before a certain amount of, before a certain time. When I told her I was bored, she gave me a pen and some paper and I drew and I wrote and whatever the fuck I did, colored. And I didn't have coloring books like that. So being deep comes from creativity, practice, and just letting your mind drift. Being ready to be wrong, and meditating. I don't even know. I mean, I get what you mean. I get what people mean when they say deep, but you know, perception's reality. Do I like blunts or joints? I like joints. I like joints. They have that same taste as a bowl. Yeah, my bad. But I think that was a sign I have to use the bathroom. And I am going to end this. I'm gonna let my phone charge for a bit. I'm gonna get back on the live chat in about I want to say give me what time is it? It's 1 o'clock Eastern. I mean Central Time. Yeah, I'm about to go to the store, take a shower, poop, do all that good stuff. But did this nigga just say poop? Yeah, I did. I've been talking to a lot of my young homies very much. So yeah, like this video and all of that. And Socialize with me, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, website, email. That's it, man. It's Aaron motherfucking Moses. Visit my channel again. I'll say around 2:30, 3 o'clock for another live ass live stream. Alright, man. It's Aaron Moses. Peace.